Hey guys, welcome to the show. It is Friday afternoon / evening, and that means it's time for Hit the Track, brought to you by hitthepick.com. Make sure you stop by hitthepick.com. All kinds of great deals on college basketball, NBA, hockey, and of course, a little NASCAR with our old pal, Mr. Tom McCrean. By the way, you're supposed to introduce yourself. So I'm the Scott the Steamroller Steehn. I'm the host of the show here this afternoon, and we're about ready to talk to two guys that know a lot more about auto racing than I do. First up is the aforementioned Tom McCrean, one of the guys over there at hitthepick.com. Tom, you had a big week before. I know you did okay last week. So, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, not too much. I'm getting ready for vacation here, so I'm excited. But, yeah, baseball season has started. I'm hyped up for the Phillies, and I'm just ready to go. It's a good track we're at this weekend. I'm excited.
Excellent. And speaking of the Phillies, the guy repping those hometown Phillies, I guess it's only fitting because his name is Phil, so he has to be a Phillies fan. It is Phil Eastman, and you may know him better from tell us about your show, Full Tank Phil, right?
That's correct. Yeah, Full Tank with Phil is the name of the podcast, and I've been doing that for 7 seasons now. It's been a nice grind and having a lot of fun doing it. Meeting a lot of great folks like yourselves. Touched base with Tom a few years back now, and that's kind of the goal of why I started it. Talk shop with folks because our area don't really have a whole lot of huge NASCAR fans, so that's how we started, and making a lot of money along the way. So it's been a really good journey we're on here.
Excellent. That is much better than my short-lived show, running on empty with the steamroller. Did not do nearly as well. So good to have you here, Phil, and we're anxious to dig into this Martinsville race.
Good Jackson Brown song, though.
It is a good album, good song. One of the weirdest moments of my life. We went to a funeral, and they had that music playing in the background because that was her favorite album. And right as I got to the coffin, they're playing the Cocaine song, and it just seemed so jarringly inappropriate at that time. Doctor says here you're 23, but that can't be right. Cocaine running all around my brain. All right, this is gonna be a long show if I keep singing. So none of that. Let's talk about last week, Thomas. We had Miami. Welcome to Miami, and I'll just spoiler everybody right up front. Tom did not hit a 65-1 shot last week. Correct. But still did okay. How'd you do, bud?
Yeah, I'd say it was average. Xfinity, where we have Austin Hill, he came in 4th, I think. Trucks, I didn't really give anything out. And then the Cup, really my only saving grace was AJ Allmendinger, top 10. I actually had a premium on him over Noah Gragson. So that cashed it well, too. So that put me pretty much the day was a wash.
Okay. All right.
What I spent is what I got back.
And that includes the Cup as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You know what? I guarantee you there's over half of the people that bet on NASCAR last week that would love to be in your shoes of breaking even. So sometimes it's like the tournament, man. It doesn't, you just got to win in advance, man. So you get that push, you get your bankroll, you're ready to move on to the minnow track pond. And we talked a little bit about that last week. Martinsville, the layout is kind of weird because they had to make sure they accounted for the minnow pond when it was built back in the day, back in the 50s, right, Tom?
That's correct. Yeah, this is a paperclip short track. It's a fun one. We're going to see some tire wear. This is, I think we had Johnny on last week. He was talking about a driver's track. This is also one of them. We're looking at guys who have done well here before.
Johnny taught us last week what it meant to be a wheelman. So I always thought it was somebody that waited in the car while the other guys robbed the bank. And so apparently I was wrong on that. Man, that was embarrassing when I went to bet on it. But anyway, this is Martinsville Speedway, oddly enough, in Martinsville, Virginia. Just a little bit better than a half mile, 0.526 miles. As you mentioned, it's like a paper clip. It's not more of a circle like a Bristol, something like that. It's not, of course, Bristol isn't a circle, but it's a lot more elongated. You get a little more pump on the straightaways there. 400 laps, going to be 3:00 Eastern time on FS1. So, Tom, you mentioned before the show You think this might be a chalky race? Our favorites, of course, as just like it is every week. If you were just going to put your hand over your eyes and guess the favorites, if you guess Blaney and Larson, congratulations, you would get home. Now there is a guy that's the third favorite that I know you want to talk about a little bit. So what are you looking at here this week, my friend?
All right. Yeah. So both William Byron and Denny Hamlin are two guys I like a lot. I'm going to wait till after practice and qualifying. I don't think the numbers are going to change too much. And I don't think we're getting great numbers. I might even wait to catch them live. We'll see what happens. But yeah, those are the top two guys that I like for this race, Byron, Hamlin. I do have some other guys that are more long shots.
Okay. So, yeah, and Byron has made six starts here over the last few seasons, and he's got 2 wins. So I'm kind of curious why his numbers aren't a little more in line with the favorites. Any theories there, Tom?
I don't know. But I don't know.
Okay. That's the kind of hard hit analysis that we're known for here on Hit the Track. Thanks very much, Tom. Let's talk to Full Tank with Phil. I knew I was going to screw that up. Phil, what are you looking at here? Are you in the Byron and Hamlin boat as well?
So I was more so the Hendrick guys. So Byron was somebody that I had circled for himself, and he's plus 750. And I think he kind of gets lost a little bit. The fall races, Ford has been better. The springtime races, Byron has really performed well. So that is in line with the way he performs in general. He starts the season really hot. So I think, if you're looking between those guys like Blaney, obviously he performs really well, but his performance has been great in the fall races. So I think you can kind of wait on a favorite like Blaney. Doesn't qualify well here, always performs well here. If you wanted a favorite like him, you get him maybe after qualifying. But Byron, I think, is a decent pick. And, kind of sticking with that Hendrick camp, Chase Elliott is someone that I think is not having a great start to the year. Hasn't really been great, for a while now. But Elliott, on the rankings that I use, he turned up first on the pre-qualifying rankings on Win the Race, and has a win back in 2020. Last year, he finished 3rd and 2nd. So he's looking up, seeing a racetrack that he enjoys. And I think when he has won recently, like in the recent past, it's kind of come out of left field. And if he were to win on Sunday, I think that would be the case. So I think decent number for him. But Hendrick as a whole is kind of who I'm starting the week with, looking from an outright perspective.
Me too. They finished 1, 2, 3 last season, correct?
I think that was, yes. I think that was the race.
I also, obviously, I'm not taking Larson because he won last week, but yeah, I'm the same way. I see. I love the Hendrick.
Okay. All right. Very good. And you said Blaney doesn't do well in the spring, does a lot better in the fall. What do we attribute that to? Seasonal allergies? What do we got going on there? Is there any kind of a reason for that? Is it a tire situation, or what's different?
It's not necessarily that it doesn't perform well. We've just seen, because he's absolutely kick-ass here. He's top in average finish in the next gen cars. Worst finish is 7th. So yeah, he's a top 5 machine at this track. It's just he has gotten his wins in the fall, and Ford shows up more in the fall. And I think that's just because they have the ability to turn it on in the playoffs. He's got that clutch gene, if that exists in NASCAR. So, but I don't mean to say he hasn't performed well, because he's as consistent as you can get at a racetrack at Martinsville. Top 5 machine for sure. Yeah,
like you were saying, starting in 22 with 2 races per season, he's got 6 races under his belt. Hasn't finished worse than 7th. So that's obviously a guy that's got a pretty good handle on this one. So, all right. So Tom, you kind of laid out who your primaries were. Do you have any sneaky plays you want to talk about? Any matchups? Any top? I know you got a couple of. I know you got a real curveball for top 4. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I do. Well, actually, yeah, we can start there first. So I like Ryan Preece. So he has 8 Cup Series starts here. His average finish is 18.9. 2 top 10s in the next gen car era. Good. 15th, 10th in 2023. ninth in the spring of 2024. We like that. In April 2023, won the pole, led 134 laps. He had a penalty, dropped him back to 15th. So over his last 4 Martinsville races, he has an average finish of 14.5. That ranks 8th in the next gen speed rankings at this track. He has a good driver rating. He's 9th best among active drivers here. He's a veteran. He did the Welland Modified Tour here. He has a win in that series. Strongest Xfinity record here. 3 top 5s and 6 starts. I like his form, his track history. He's in an upgraded car, being at Keselowski. I expect him to outperform his odds. I am taking him for top Ford. If you could look that up for me, I didn't write the price down.
I've got it plus 800 on DraftKings, maybe a better number.
Yeah, I think that's around where I got it at.
Okay. So it looks like the 2 bullets that you really have to dodge there in the Fords are Blaney and Logano. And
yeah, well, I think it's Blaney and Keselowski, but if it's him and Keselowski, I don't think Keselowski's going to go too hard on him since he owns the car.
Okay, that's fair. And Logano is a guy that we haven't talked about a little bit. He's had some consistent finishes. He's another guy that's been in the top 6 in all the races since 2022. Let me ask both of you guys real quick. Tom, any interest in Joey L?
Not really. I guess if I'm going to take a Penske guy, it's going to be Blaney. I don't know that I want him either.
Okay. Phil, Logano this week?
When I started doing my notes for this week's race, Logano didn't hit the page, but kind of as the week has unfolded and kind of had a little bit more time to absorb some stuff, Logano top 5 is popping into my head. So like, I'm more conservative as a bettor. I like to play like more top 10s than the top 5s, but his top 5 number is plus 150. He's pretty damn consistent, just like Blaney at this track. So history will tell you he's going to give that bet a fighting shot. He didn't do it last year in this track, but he's got, I think, 3 of the 6 next gen cars, and his worst finish in the next gen is 10th. So he'll give you a shot. I think top 5 for Logano is going to find my way onto the race day card.
All right.
Yeah, that's the kind of guys you want to look for too. Logano is a wheel man.
He's a wheel man. As soon as you hear the alarms go off, man, start the car because we're getting out of here. Tom, what else are you looking at?
All right. For my Toyota, I like Bubba Wallace. I'm going to take him. I forget what I took him at. I'm going to took him top Toyota plus 600, but I like him top 5 as well. He had a 3rd place finish at Homestead. Great. Led 56 laps, 5.9 average running position. That was only 2nd to Alex Bowman. That was his first top 5 of the season. So he snapped a streak of finishes outside of the top 15. I see momentum there. Historically, he hasn't been great here. 13 cup starts. He has no wins, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, average finish of 18.2. His best Martinsville run came last spring. He came in 4th. He did start in 2nd, but it shows consistency. What I like here is the crew chief, Charles Danicky. A year ago, Danicky's trucks at Martinsville swept the Craftsman Truck Series in all the races with Christian Eckes. He pretty much dominated, led 133 laps in the spring. He led all but 13 laps in the fall. So with the way Bubba Wallace is running and the crew chief he has behind him, I think he's going to have a great run this week.
Okay, very good. Very good. Anything else on your card?
Yeah, I have a really, really long shot. Austin Dillon. I think I got him 4-1 on top 10. So he has 21 starts here, 1 top 5. He was 4th in the spring of 2017. He has 5 top 10s. His most recent being a 7th place finish in the fall here of last year. In the next gen car, he's shown consistency. Top 12 finish rate in half of the 6 races. He was 7th in the fall of 2024, 9th in the spring of 2023, 12th in the spring of 2022. Short tracks, they align with his strengths. He won a chaotic Richmond in August of 2024. He was 12th at Phoenix earlier this year. He had a solid 8th-place run at Homestead. I think his team's going to be able to set his car up to this track. Recent performances here show me that the team has found some rhythm. So I like him to get a top 10. I think he sneaks in there because that's what Austin Dillon does.
He's a sneaky bastard for sure.
He either crashes or he sneaks into sign.
Wrecker or checker, right?
Yeah,
Right.
To a degree.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to go with my limited NASCAR knowledge, but isn't Eric Jones a short track guy? Didn't he come up on?
Yeah, I don't know if this is the one for him. He's Darlington's better for him.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering if there's any value there in the top 10 at plus 700. All right, Phil, what else do you have down your card?
Well, I'll just kind of play off of what Tom said there because we're kind of like-minded in a couple ways. He threw Priest out there for top 4. I think that's definitely a risky pick. Like I mentioned, I'm more conservative, but I have him for a top 10 for a lot of the reasons that he said. I think he's very frisky this week. He's got a ton of momentum on his side. They've got a top 10 pit crew, 4-tire stop analysis. So, they've got a lot of things clicking for them. So I had him at a plus 130 on Bet Rivers for a top 10. And then I love what you said, Tom, about Bubba, because I had him for a top 10 as well. And you're kind of talking me into that top Toyota because you could think of it in a way of a head-to-head matchup, 6-1 you're getting on Bubba versus Hamlin. Because if you're looking at the Toyota camp, there's not really anybody that scares me. Christopher Bell, not really, even though that's crazy to say. He's been lights out this year, but not at this track. I don't trust him. Reddick, dog shit here. Ty Gibbs, no one knows what's going on with him. So Bubba really is a factor for that bet. So 6-1, I like I said, had him written down top 10, but I like where your head was at there. So just kind of complimentary picks there to what was already said.
Even Briscoe was high on my everything. I was looking at.
Forgot about.
I don't want to mess with him.
Forgot about Briscoe, but I'm going to be talking about him in a second.
All right. So yeah, even like in a 3-way with Hamlin and Bell, if you're getting better than 6-1, that's still got to be good EV value right there for sure. All right. Anything else, Phil?
Well, I don't know. Is it okay to get into some head-to-heads at this point, or are we still sticking
absolutely? Yeah, let's.
Because I've been on fire this year with head-to-head matchups, and they're my absolute favorite thing to bet. So I got a couple that I could throw your way. The first one is Ross Chastain over Kyle Busch. To me, this is an absolute mismatch. This is punching down. Ross Chastain is minus 125. The win the race simulations have this fair at minus 157. So that's value. That's on DraftKings for the gambler on that. Ross Chastain is 6-0 in the next gen era against Kyle Busch. And their closest matchup was the first race of 22. It was 5th place finisher Chastain, 7th for Busch. And then Busch hasn't sniffed a good finish since, especially since he moved over to RCR. So, unless we see something crazy happen in practice and qualifying, and I know Chastain hasn't been lighting the world on fire, I really think that this is a punching down matchup. And like I said, undefeated at this racetrack head to head. The other one that I wanted to throw out there was Briscoe over Bell. So head to head, and this is in different equipment, obviously with Briscoe at Stewart-Haas, he's 5-1 versus Christopher Bell. He qualifies phenomenal at this track. And I don't know what your opinion, Tom, is, but like Stewart-Haas compared to JGR, that equipment's supposed to be much better. And we haven't seen it yet really from him this year. They've had a lot of like weird struggles, but Martin Truex Jr. was good at this racetrack as well. So Christopher Bell just has always kind of, I think he has a victory, but other than that, not really too interesting for me here. So the 6.3 average starting position, if you see him qualify well, that's the trigger to know, like, yeah, this team's bringing it. They're going to be a factor in this race. And that's another head-to-head matchup that I'm really interested in. Again, minus 115 a piece, but the simulations has it minus 143 fair. So again, a theoretical value there to the gambler.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do the matchup odds change very much after qualifying? Are they affected as much as the race odds?
Yeah, and sometimes, Scott, they don't even bring them back up. So that's why, a lot of times when we talk about the matchups, you want to take them if you like one, like these two in particular. You want to get those before practice and qualifying because you always run the risk of the sports book just saying that's not going back up. So
Right.
it's tricky.
It's Bet Rivers world. We're just living in it, man. Tommy, you got any matchups you want to talk about before we move on?
No, I don't have any heads-to-heads. I might take something on Sunday morning. I'll probably have one as a premium play, but yeah, there is nothing that really jumped out to me. I like to take the plus money ones, and nothing felt good enough to take.
Did you want to give out your phone number so people can call you Sunday morning and see what you're playing there as far as
that'd be a negative, but you could go over to the
enough.
Discord. I post my plays there. On X at Rycape. I post my plays there as well.
All right. Yeah. Make sure you do check us out on all the socials that we're on. So Discord is the big one. It's a pretty lively community over there. If you like to talk to DJs basically 24 hours a day that are looking for things to bet on, Discord is the place for you. So very good. All right. So we're running Xfinity. Are we running Xfinity and trucks here as well? Everybody racing to Martinsville this weekend?
Everybody's at the same track.
All right. Very good. All right, Tom, I know you said you don't have a ton for Xfinity, but I know you got a little something cooked up. Tell us what you're playing.
Yeah, so again, Xfinity's running while we're on this show, so make sure you check your numbers for tomorrow. I'll probably have a bunch of plays on Xfinity actually, so look out for those. But right now, I like Carson Quapple. I took him top 5. I forget what the hell his price was. But he has a strong short track background. His Xfinity debut last year, he finished in 4th place. He excelled in late models here. He has a win in 2024, 2nd place in 2022, 3rd place in 2023. This track suits his driving style. He's comfortable navigating the track. He's had some good runs. He's had some bad runs as well. But I like to back Carson Quapple, and we are going to take him again this week for a top 5.
Is he a wheel man?
He's going to be.
He's a wheel boy. He's young as hell.
He's like Pinocchio. He's a wheel boy. All right, very good. Phil, what do you got at Xfinity this week?
Well, I'm not necessarily a big Xfinity guy, but somebody that I trust through Eric Almirola my way before. I'm sure he was probably up there as one of the favorites to win. It was plus 220 is the number. And that made sense to me because I was in my Cup Series research, seeing his name pop up quite a bit in 4 starts at Martinsville in the Cup Series, 3 top 10s, 1 top 5, average starting position of 8, average finish of 8. So he's able to do that there in theoretically better equipment down there in the Xfinity Series. I think he's, definitely the guy. So probably pretty chalky, not too familiar with how they're going to come out with the new odds after practice qualifying today. But, Almirola was the guy that was thrown my way.
Yeah, I'll be on him too.
All right.
We cashed him as a winner at 4-1 a couple weeks ago. I forget where that was. Phoenix.
Quick question. What percentage of the Xfinity drivers are related to Jeff Burton? Like 40, 50%?
There are a few.
You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Burton in the Xfinity
Correct.
Series. That's all I'm saying. All right. So let's move on to trucks. Let's load up the bed and talk about some trucks. Tom, trucks?
Yep. So that race is tonight. Same thing as we don't have numbers out tonight. Guy I'm looking at is Ben Rhodes. He has a strong track record here. In 9 starts, he has 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s. He was 2nd in the spring of 2024 last year. He has experience. Did go have good track position. I guess we'll see shortly. And he's a veteran. He's a savvy veteran, which I think matters here. So we're going to go with Ben Rhodes, top 5.
Okay.
William Byron's in this race, so I kind of feel like it's going to be either him or Corey Heim to win.
Savvy. What about Frankie Munoz?
Yeah, he's in there.
Okay.
I'm not betting him.
So when you say savvy veteran in the trucks, you're talking about an old guy that hasn't been able to move up to the cup.
Yeah, I mean, he's been up, but yes, Ben Rhodes is he's a good old truck guy.
I'm not saying he's been driving trucks a long time, but they used to have to hand crank to start them. So it's been a minute. All right, Phil, I know you didn't. You say you didn't do much on Xfinity, so you must really kill it on trucks. What do you got going? You got anything going on trucks?
Trucks actually is my favorite series, Scott.
Oh, well, there you go.
I love the trucks. We got Friday Night Lights tonight. I'm pumped. And yeah, I think Tom was on Ben Rhodes. He didn't qualify as well as I would have thought. I have him over Rajah Caruth in a matchup that I took before on Caesars, and that was minus 130 at the time. And Caruth finished or qualified better, so I'm a little nervous. But in practice, he looked pretty good. So we'll see how that goes. I think he's definitely frisky. It's a good temperature check for Ben Rhodes if you're a Ben Rhodes fan or a gambler on him throughout the season. If he doesn't perform really well at this track, I think alarm bells need to be starting to go off in our heads like, hey, we need to leave this guy off of the cards. I had really thought that William Byron was going to dog walk the field here, and he qualified 12th, didn't blow me away in practice. So Tom mentioned this is going to be a chalky track. I think, if you're looking for an outright pick, unfortunately, you have to have Corey Heim on your card if you want to hit the outright bet. He is just an absolute monster. Now, if you're looking for some other guys at slightly better numbers, Lane Riggs stands out. He hit the wall in qualifying and still qualified 6th, and he's like 5-1. And Ty Majeski, he's like your second. I think the lines are just starting to come back out. 350 plus 350 right now for Majeski. The funny thing is, I had a head-to-head that it was minus 120 for Majeski over Riggs, and the only reason I took it, I came into this thinking this is a Lane Riggs race. I don't want to bet against him, but I don't want to seem like I'm simulation heavy because I'm really not. But the Sims had that fair at minus 255 in favor of Majeski. So I was like, I got to throw something on that, like to believe that these are correct. So I have that head-to-head Majeski over Riggs, but I still think Riggs is frisky. His qualifying effort, hitting the wall and still, starting 6, he's going to be one to watch. So maybe when top 5s come back out, he's plus 125 for a top 3. I think we could see Heim, Majeski, and Riggs all in the top 3. And
yeah, what's Majeski price at
for the win or a top 3? Outright, he's plus 350, second favorite. So he was fast. I was shocked that Heim took the pole from on the last run in qualifying earlier today. So those two, it's going to be a great race. And Byron starting 12th. It'll be fun to see him trying to come through the field because he was amazing here in that same truck, essentially, for Spire a few years back. I did not have a dime on him, and I was frustrated the whole night because he was just so much better than everybody else. So it'll be a fun race to watch for that reason.
Well, and for the record, as we sit here right now, if you're listening live, got about an hour and a half for that race. So don't dawdle. Don't go out for dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
You're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it. So
I do that often, to be honest with you.
Anything else in the truck situation?
No, I think it's more about just kind of hoping some lines come back out and seeing if there's anything head to head or anything like that stands out. But it's going to be a quick window, like you said.
Okay, all right, very good. And it is a 200 laps for that one, so it goes quick, right? At a half mile lap.
Yeah, the truck races are pretty quick.
Yep.
Unless there's carnage, it's a blink and you miss it.
Or truckage in this case. Okay, very good. Tom, and now it's your time to shine. This is the time every week where we ridicule Tom unmercifully for his fantasy picks. And Tom, how did you do last week? Did you pick up any points?
Yeah, I did. I actually scored points last week, so we're going in the right direction. Okay. This week I'm going to go chalk again. I took Denny Hamlin. I hate to burn these guys so early, but I need points. So
I know for the first 3 weeks of the season, you had like 2 more points than I did, and I'm not playing. So correct. It wasn't a terrific start. Phil, do you play fantasy racing at all?
I do. Are we talking like a one and done type of situation?
Right.
Yeah. I didn't have a great start to the season either. But haven't given my one and dones much thought, but I think I have kind of talked myself into Byron just because I want to take advantage of him before he hits his summer slumps. And like I said, he's a pretty good spring racer here. So Byron, again, chalky. I'll throw this out there for someone who's just like a true degenerate and wants to, hate themselves. But Cole Custer is a deep pick, whether that's like a daily fantasy or you want to waste a one and done, saving some of your other guys. He has been decent for Cole Custer at this track and just a few starts. So someone maybe to keep your eye on. A few years back, but 2022, he finished 21st and 14th. Had a pretty good starting position. So yeah, it's true degenerate style, but maybe he's someone to watch. We'll see in practice.
He was actually on my radar too.
So, okay. So there's what we just had 36 races in the year.
Yep.
That's right.
And about how many drivers start each race? Is it 30? I know it used to be higher, more than it is now. 36 now or 39?
Usually anywhere from 36 to 40.
Okay. So like by October, what are you taking? Like Justin Haley and John Hunter Nemechek?
Well, everything resets when the playoffs come.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
yes, there are. It's all about the strategy. I guess some people like to load up on points before.
Right.
I actually saved William Byron last year to the second to last race. I was on the bubble. I was actually out of the bubble, and he burned me, and I fucking missed by 1 point. Missed the playoffs by a point.
It's tough. It's a tough.
It is. It looks easy.
I just picture myself like rooting for Corey LaJoy. Or like,
He'll make the cut sometime.
Right. All right. Anything else, guys, you want to talk about before we get out of here?
I think that's good. I guess next week is Darlington. It'll just be me and you because I'm going away after. But yeah, we'll have a short show, and then the week after, I am not going to be in any form to be on camera or in front of a microphone.
Cool. So, for all you people that watch the show and say, "Man, I wish we had more Scott making picks." Next week will be your show. I'll be all over Corey LaJoy and John Hunter Nemechek and telling you why those guys are going to be the top Volkswagen or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah, LaJoy isn't racing next week.
That bastard. What are you guys, putties? How do you know that?
Well, first of all, because he's a part-timer, and anybody who wants to hire him for Darlington, any short track really is. You need to reevaluate your life decisions.
Well, that's well said about me, buddy. No question about it. All right, gentlemen. Thanks very much for being here. Not you, Tom. You have to be here. You're here every week. But special thanks to Phil. Don't forget to check out Full Tank with Phil. Where can they find that, buddy?
Anywhere you get podcasts. And give me a follow on Instagram, X, at Full Tank Phil. Love to talk shop. But thank you,
guys.
Amazon.
You're still not on Amazon.
They tell me that, but I don't know how. But so I guess
and you got a YouTube thing going at all?
I do. I have a little YouTube. That's where I put my truck content out. So I'm trying to get that going a little bit more this year. I was on vacation this week myself. That was the one thing that slipped. So I was able to talk a little shop for the trucks with you guys here today. On YouTube, that's where I put my trucks out each week. So
it's full bed with Phil.
I appreciate you guys for having me on. This is really fun.
Absolutely, man. We had a blast and we appreciate it. This is one of our quicker broadcasts, Tom. We kind of gripped it and ripped it right through here.
Yeah, I wish I could have dug more into it, but with baseball season starting up and Sweet 16 this week, it was busy week.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you got to get everything ready to go on vacation and whatnot there. So, yeah, we were talking about hitting the wall earlier. I think this is about the time that most of our audience usually hits the wall, but we're out of here. So we're just gonna bounce. Don't forget, once again, we've been brought to you by hitthepick.com. Hitthepick.com, honesty, integrity, and transparency. A handicapping site like no other. So make sure you go there and check that out. We got all kinds of great deals on all the various stick and ball sports. And now Tom's, of course, putting his NASCAR picks out there. Loud puts his, if you're dying for major arena soccer league content, Loud's always doing a pick there for no apparent reason. So yeah, make sure you check those out as well. And yeah, for Tom and for Phil, for me, appreciate you everybody watching. Have a great weekend. Let's go racing. Let's make some money. And we'll be back next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 Central, to bitch about the results and tell you all about Darlington. Take care, guys. We'll see you then.
We're going to celebrate results.